Hi everybody, I hope everyone's doing well. Well, today I have a Let's Talk video for you guys. We're going to get right into this, guys, because I've been gone when it comes to this part of my channel. I've been gone about 3 weeks approximately because I have about 3 weigh-ins we're going to talk about. And then we're also going to talk about the strength training, where I'm at with that. We're also going to talk about 3 weigh-ins, like I said. And we're also going to talk about exercise, specifically certain things about exercise, not the strength training, but just overall. And we're going to talk about it when I talk about my weight. Because, we need to discuss my weight. We're going to discuss this, okay? We're going to sit here for a little bit. And we're going to discuss the weigh-ins. Yeah. Okay, and then we're going to talk about a certain macro, and it's not carbs, but I'll let you know where I'm at with carbs, and if I'm doing ketovore, carnivore, low carb, if I'm still doing that. We'll talk about some NSVs. NSVs, very important. I definitely wanted to throw some NSVs in here because I think those are really, really important. And we're going to talk about certain foods, and so let's just get right to this, guys, because this is going to be a long one, I feel. I'm going to talk a little bit fast so we can get through it, okay? Got a lot to say. All right, guys. Let's talk about the strength training challenge with Jules from Improved Health. I will link that video down below if you guys want to check out her channel. I will link the calendar for November. The November calendar is out, and that's what I've been working on. I'll link that down below as well. And so what am I doing? I am following her still, guys. I'm still strength training. One of the things that I talked about in my last video was the 2-day challenge. Remember I mentioned a 2-day challenge and I bought that big exercise ball? Well, I did it, and I did record it for you guys. I did. I had my husband help me record it. And why don't we go to that? Let's see that video really, really quickly because there's something in there that I want to discuss. So let's go there for strength training. All right, let's do this. plank, I was shaking at the end. But that's where you gotta pull deep from inside of you and say you can do this. And this is what makes me feel like I can do anything. I think sometimes we put our own limitations, and we take that limit so far until it gets uncomfortable, and then we don't do anything. We don't push it any more than that. But if we push it, you'd be surprised what you can do. Not just in fitness, but in just things in your life. And that's what I'm learning. That's exactly what I'm learning. Okay, I'm gonna go stretch now. Had to had to close down shop. I had to walk around, put away my weights and everything, and then I thought, oh, I didn't even come and tell you how I feel. You saw I did the plank. That's an accomplishment. So, and 60 count plank when you're that exhausted is something. I tell you, this whole thing is just saturated wet. That was really, really good. Triceps, biceps, and chest, and core, with some core strength training in there too. I have a hard time with the one that I'm halfway kneeling back and then you're doing the punches. Those are very, very hard for me. Very hard. I have to sort of, mentally prepare for that. That's hard. And I did all her count. I did it till because the cowbell goes on when you start, and then the cowbell goes on when you finish, because she doesn't talk. And so I went all the way to the cowbell, which is really, really good. So there it is, guys. All right, guys. That was tough. That's a hard one for me. But let's talk about what happened with the plank. Yes, I did not know my husband was recording. I edit out a part where I said to my husband, when I looked up after doing the plank, and I looked up and I saw him still recording, and I said, "Are you recording?" And I'm like, and he's like, "Yep." He went like that. He went, "Yep." And I was like, oh. And so I sort of ran with it. I ran with it because it captured those moments that I tried to talk to you guys about and try to share with you guys that I get when I'm working out and I accomplish something. That was so hard to do that plank, guys, after doing all that strength training. My muscles were like done. And then she asked for a plank. And so I did it. And how I expressed myself in there is like, I tell myself, no, I can't. No, I can't. No, yes, you can. Yes, you can. And I did it. So I'm really, it's just a great, great feeling. And I mentioned in that video, I said that I put limitations sometimes on myself. And then I'm surprised, I find myself able to do it. So I'm glad he caught that moment. And yeah. Now, speaking of that challenge, though, day one is all arms. So your back, your shoulders, your triceps, your biceps, your chest, and then your core. Day two consists of the legs, your core and your legs, and balance. On both of them, she does balancing exercises where you have to use the noggin to balance yourself out. I find those very, very challenging, very, very hard. They are. They feel good, but they are very challenging. So how I incorporate those workouts, those 2-day workouts, meaning one arms and one's more legs, I sprinkle them into the month. I tried to at least do one time in the month, both days, throughout the month. That's how I'm using them right now. I would like to incorporate them a little bit more into my week, but they are challenging. They are. So when I'm not doing that, or let's say it this way, when I'm doing the strength training part of it, I do her calendar. Like I said, I'll link it below and you'll see it. But I do level 2. I'm at level 2, beginners level 2. And this is the second month that I'm doing beginners level 2. I'm thinking for December, I'm going to move up to level 3, beginner level 3. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So I'm doing it. I had mentioned in my last video that I feel like my body was craving protein, right? I was telling you guys that I was sick. I got sick. But nevertheless, my body was wanting like some protein. I was craving like eggs and things like that. And I kind of started feeling like maybe I'm not eating enough protein, but I really didn't know. I mean, I think I was aiming for 120. I'll tell you, I follow two ladies on Instagram, and then I follow a lady here on YouTube, and one of them hits like 150 grams of protein. One of them goes higher than that, and the lady that I follow here on YouTube is 120. So I figured, I'll just kind of follow that. But no, my body was really, really craving it, and I was feeling like I need to see what's going on here. I wanted to research this macro. So anyway, the day that I sat down to go see about where I should lie in when it comes to protein, JJ Virgins puts up a video. Now, I'm subscribed to her on YouTube, but I had already heard of JJ Virgins. I have her books. I have her cookbooks. I've been following her. She did a video on protein. So I'm going to try to give it to you in a nutshell. I will link her video down below if you want to check it out. I think it's only like a 4 or 5 minute video, but very, very interesting. But I'll just break it down to you in a nutshell, okay? Pretty much, there's a minimum that we should intake when it comes to protein, right? And it's about 35 grams per meal. That's how she sort of gives you the most simplistic of it. 35 grams per meal, and you eat 3 of those meals, okay? 3 meals, your breakfast, lunch, and your dinner. Now, this is according to her. And there's other factors. The older you are, you have to add protein, right? So on her website, she has a calculator where you input certain things and it spits out a number. Well, I did. So the number that it spit out for me, according to her website, is 189 daily grams of protein that I should be intaking. And that is because you go by your ideal weight. And I think I did put in 145 pounds. Ideal weight. You don't go by your current weight. You go by the weight you should weigh. 145. You put your age, 55. Remember, the older you are, the more protein you need. And then, do you strength train? Do you do cross training? Do you do whatever, anything like that? You input that in there. And then it shoots out a number, right? And that's what it shot out for me. I was shocked, okay? I was shocked because there have been days where I wasn't even getting the very minimum in one meal. Like sometimes I would come in at 20 grams of protein. I remember one time I came in at 17 grams of protein. But never have I ever really came in at 35 grams of protein. As a minimum, just as a minimum per meal. Never. And I was like, okay, this is why I feel so terrible. Then she explained, this is what was really interesting. She really started to explain like things that can happen because protein is an essential amino acid that we need to eat, right? Our body can't synthesize certain amino acids that the body uses to then synthesize protein, what's in my muscles. So she said, if you're strength training and you're doing it and you're strength training and you're not seeing any change in your physique, you're not going to if you're not going to bring in the protein it needs to rebuild that muscle. Bring in that protein and you're going to rebuild that muscle and you're going to start seeing the labor, the fruits of your labor. And I thought that was really, really interesting because I really started to feel like I was seeing changes, yes, but not. And I've only started. I'm new to this. I'm not like been at this for 3 years or anything, but nevertheless, I've been doing it very consistent since, as far as the strength training, since I think it was mid-August, if I can remember. But anyway, that's one thing. The other thing too, I noticed my hair was falling out tremendously, like big chunks of hair, breakage. I also felt very, very tired. And again, above all, I was craving protein. I was walking around going, oh my gosh, I want some eggs, And so I knew there was something to that. I just wasn't bringing in enough protein. Another thing that you can do to calculate, like a rough calculation on your protein intake, is you take your ideal weight. So for me, I had said 150. And then you multiply that by either 0.7 or 1 gram. So 0.7 grams to 1 gram. I multiplied it by the 1 gram, so I got 150 grams of protein. That's baseline for what I should be eating. And then you input in the on her online website, you can go more detailed. You input your age, your strength training. Also, you want to add more protein if you're sick, if you're fighting a cold, if you had surgery or something like that, if you're healing from, say, a broken leg or something like that, or a fall even. Anything where the body's working a little extra to, repair, then you want to up the protein even more. She also said don't be afraid of going over the protein, because the body will then take anything in excess and it's going to do something with it. She says it's going to turn it into glycogen, and then eventually it'll be turned into glucose for energy source. And if you're moving around your daily, whatever, you're going to use it. You're going to use up that extra, anything in excess, anything that's over that it doesn't need. But if you're strength training and you're moving around, or you're sick, or whatever, it's going to use it. So I thought that was very, very interesting. Yeah, so let's go back to the whole thing here with the protein with me. 189 grams is a bit too hard for me to get in. I don't eat 2 meals a day. I just don't. And when I started implementing 150 at the very minimum to sort of get in, I still couldn't even meet that. I come in maybe on an average on an average, let's say 90 grams of protein or 80 grams of protein. I'm not meeting, not even, probably, that's probably minimum. That's the probably minimum, but I'm strength training and I'm older. So, so I thought, how am I going to get this extra protein? How? Because I need to bring it in. I started to think, well, maybe I'll just have my breakfast. I'll just have it. She's a very strong proponent on breakfast eating. I thought, oh my gosh, I can't do that. And so anyway, one thing she said in her video, though, she says, you can consider having one of your meals a shake, a protein shake. Now, she does sell her protein shakes, I'm not going to lie. But I thought, ooh, drink my protein. I've never been one to drink my food, my meal. I don't like to do that. But I thought, okay, that is a really, really good way to do that. So I've ordered some proteins, shakes, and when I get those, we'll talk about those. But I have. But the other thing that I've done, and you've seen the thumbnail, is I've incorporated bone broth into my diet. Bone broth. I do the Ketovore, not the Ketovore bone broth with the chicken, because that one has a tomato paste in it, and tomatoes and meat, we are not good. My husband had made me some chicken soup when I was sick, and he used that Ketovore. And I saw when I think I did the little vlog video showing, and it said tomato paste or tomato puree in there or something like that. And I thought, oh my gosh. And sure enough, guys, I was in a fetal position in pain because of the lectins in it. But so I just do the regular beef, Ketovore, regular beef, and I drink that. And that has about, for a cup, if I'm not mistaken, it has like about 10 grams of protein. So it helps. It helps. Now, one thing she did say is you don't want to be dripping your protein. In other words, what she meant, like, she doesn't want you to sit there like every 2 hours and just snack your way into 150 grams of protein. You know what I mean? Like, drip it throughout the day. No, it's in your meal. 3 meals for her. 3 meals. That's how you get your protein. Not eating it slowly throughout the day. No. So that's one thing she said. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm having a bone broth. The other thing I did was I researched what proteins, what meats are high, and tuna and chicken are up there. So I've had tuna, and I've been having more chicken thighs. And that's helped with the protein intake. And then now with my protein shakes coming in, that's good too. Now, the other thing I want to do is, I know Dr. Ken Berry highly recommends bone broth. So he also says to make your own. It's cheaper. So I'm going to look into doing that. And then protein shakes, I'm sure there's a way to make a really good protein shake without all the junk. So I'm going to look into that. But for right now, I did order a big box of protein. And I will share that with you guys when I get it. Now, I'm not doing Flav City's protein smoothies. His are more smoothies. And they have, because they have 20 grams of carbs in them. So I don't want to do that. So there's that, guys. So we're going to move on from that. I just wanted to make sure to let you guys know that since I've been having more protein, you know, I sometimes come in at 120. Rarely do I come in at 150, but when I do, I go, yes. I really am trying to get it in. But I will tell you this, guys, this is the truth. My workouts have been much, much better. I'm not losing my hair as much. I'm not. I'm noticing just recently. That's recent. It's not as much. And hopefully, and then my skin, I do see my skin a little bit more healthier. So what am I aiming right now? Honestly, right this minute, I want 120. I'll be happy with that for right now. Even though I know if I just take the basic calculator, 150 times 150 grams of protein. But I'm going to go for 120. That's what I'm shooting for. And since now that I'm drinking my bone broth, you know, and having more chicken, I'm able to do it. It's getting closer. I'm able. Okay. Let's move on to certain foods because we're in that food subject. I printed out a list from Dr. Ken Berry that I follow. And these are the foods. This is a big list of a lot of foods that are high in oxalates or low in oxalates or moderate oxalates. Okay. And I just wanted to talk about a few, okay, that I already kind of knew, but avocado, extremely high in oxalates. So I'm so glad I got rid of the avocado. The other one that I wanted to share with you that I was shocked, olives. No wonder. I would eat olives and it would hurt my stomach. Very high in oxalates. Tomato sauce, of course, I knew that. I knew that a while ago, but I just bypassed, you know, the pain in my stomach. I thought this one was very interesting because I would have bet money that it would have been the other way around. Cauliflower, very low oxalate. I'm shocked because cauliflower is a very hard vegetable to break down. You should eat it cooked. So I might try to introduce that again, especially with a lot of the cauliflower rice and stuff like that. Was there another one? I think that was everything for now. But, oh, broccoli. Where's my broccoli? Broccoli. You guys know broccoli. I can have broccoli. Is very, very low in oxalate. Oh, and Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts is very low in oxalates. Yes, so I love Brussels sprouts. So I'm glad. It's a very neutral flavoring vegetable, isn't it? Very mild flavor. I don't know. I really, really enjoy it. And what other one? Oh, asparagus is something that I do eat. That's moderate. So I don't know. I don't know about that one. Might have to introduce that slowly. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. So I am having broccoli. And thank goodness. I don't have broccoli every meal. I don't. I try to have it maybe at lunch. I try not to have it during the dinner hour. So as to not, because I'm going to be going to bed soon. So I try to use it in the lunch, my first meal, which is a brunch. And this way I can sort of burn it off. And we're only talking about 3 grams of carbs that I intake from broccoli. But it adds up. It adds up. Your carbs do add up. So now let's jump into the carbs and let you guys know what I'm doing. I'm actually down to 15 grams of carbs per week. And I've been doing it. I started this week. Today's only Tuesday. So I just started this week. So 15 grams. But I've been doing that. I've been coming in at 13, 14 grams of carbs. But I really watch it. I really do. I'm starting to measure out now the broccoli. I'm starting to measure out certain things that have a little bit more carb in it to try to get a better accurate amount of carbs because it's becoming less now. 15 grams is pretty low. It's pretty low. But yeah, so we're doing that. So there's that. Okay. let's move on from that. Let's go ahead and talk about the weigh-in, okay? Let's just run through this because there is some things that I want to share with you and talk with you guys about. So let's go into where you saw me last. The last time you saw me, I came in at, you saw me at 189.8. I made it into the 189, into the 180s. That's right. So I came in at the 189 mark, and that was on the 15th of October. That's when you saw me last. All right. And I had said in that video, I had said, okay, it's too close to the 190s. We got to keep going down. But anyway, on the 22nd of October, I came in at 190. Let's discuss this a little bit here because I want to say that messed me up. It messed me up more than I care to admit. Because you guys, if I look at the numbers, just the numbers, you see 190 and then you see 180s, you know, and you're back up to the 190s. And that messed me up. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? What? Oh, did it do a number on me? But then I had to check myself because in reality, all that is 2 ounce up. A 2 ounce up, a water fluctuation of some kind. But in my mind, how I registered that was, it was 190, it was 190 and I was in the 180s. That's the only thing that mattered to me until I checked myself. So I just wanted to touch on that because the reality is you're going to see some NSVs. All right, but we're going to continue. We're going to continue with the weigh-in. So then that was on the 22nd. I came in at 190. On the 29th, this is what I weighed. 189.6. So that's a 4 ounce loss. Okay? Again, fluctuation in water. We're coming down. But it started playing on me again because I was seeing some really good jumps, some good weight loss before that, but now we're going up 2 ounces, down 4 ounces, kind of playing this little game. But anyway, I said, okay, it's fine. We're gonna continue. We're gonna go on. So now let's go to November 5th, this last Sunday. Okay, today's Tuesday. This last Sunday. Here's what I weighed. 189. Even. So that's a 6 ounce loss. I was like, wow, I am not making much improvement. I'm not really moving from 189. Basically, in a nutshell, I've been 189 for 3 weeks in that ballpark, right? And I started thinking, what's going on? What's do I need to start evaluating this thing? Because, if you stay the same weight, you do have to evaluate. After I thought about it and everything, and we're going to talk about exercise, okay? We're going to go back to it. Remember I said we're going to go back to it? We're going to go back to it. But I will tell you this. After I sort of did my pondering and everything, I said to myself, Laura, though, the reality, that's what you weigh. Like you weigh in now solid 189. You are a solid 189. The fact that you're not losing and losing and losing, but you're staying here, it's solidifying that 189. And that's not a bad thing. It truly isn't a bad thing. I can tell you that now I'm tapping into fat loss and that is really what I weigh in at. And that's good. That's good. So I solidified it. I'm here. I'm in the 180s and that's really, really good. But the other thing that I started thinking about is this. Okay, cortisol. Let's visit cortisol, guys. You guys know that the biggest thing that I'm doing this time around is my faith. But the other thing is stress. Stress because of cortisol. Because I'm menopausal, cortisol already shoots up automatically, right? But coming from chronic stress, it's like a double whammy, right? So I'm really learning how to adjust these things, really deal with problems in a different way. And I'm doing really, really good. But what could be happening? Could be. I don't know. One thing I started to notice, what I started to do, on top of the Jules workouts, I have also started doing a little bit of Leslie Sanson on the side. I really have, to try to get my steps in my day. That's truth. And I think that was over stressing my body too much. And I was doing that this past week, especially. I was trying to get in my 12,000 steps, and I was doing what I was doing. And then I would get up to work out, and I was trying to cram it all, a good amount of steps in one shot. And I realized that I was doing that. And could this be the effects of it? It could be, because I'm really sensitive to cortisol. But I will tell you what it did do, though. It put me in check, because that's not what we're going to do anymore. Not for me. I'm not doing that anymore. And it started to stress me out anyway. So there's cortisol going to be shot up. So what I've been doing recently, this is just now, I say to myself, okay, you're going to edit, you're going to be doing eBay, you're going to do whatever you're going to do, just sit down all darn day. You're going to get up and you're going to work out. You're going to walk, not work out. You're going to take a walk. You're going to go outside, you're going to take a walk, whatever. Walking doesn't stress me out. It actually relaxes me. Or you're going to put some music on and you're going to dance in place for about a good 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And then you're going to go back and resume what you got to go do. That's what I do. And then I do my workouts with Jules, Improved Health. I do the cardio and the strength training. The point is that when I'm working out, I'm working out. And it's only, with the whole thing, it's probably, depending on the cardio, but it's really about 50 minutes. But it's not high level all the time. It's not like that. And I was keeping my heart rate always high. So enough of that nonsense. I had to stop, guys. I had to stop what I was doing, because it's, the steps. I even told myself, if it's going to be like that, I'm going to take this off, because I want 12,000 steps. It's good. It's healthy. Walk, move. Very much so. But do it throughout the day, and then work out when it's workout. And it doesn't have to be. Jules is perfect. It's strenuous enough without overexerting me, and it's working my muscles enough to see change. All right. On top of that exercise stuff, let's go ahead and talk about the other thing that I really needed to sit down with myself and literally have a heart to heart, guys. And that is caffeine. Caffeine is fine. A can or two of my Zivia is fine. 3 is still fine, because I did the calculations on the milligrams. However, you guys, I'm not even going to say how much I drink in my day. I'm not even going to say. But just know that counterproductive. The amount of caffeine that I was drinking promotes cortisol. It's a stimulant. It promotes cortisol. And if cortisol is something that I want to embrace, say, yes, I need you, but I don't need to. I've taxed you since I was a little kid, and I've just, cortisol ridden person. I'm a cortisol. That's what I've lived on my whole life. And I want to calm it down, especially at menopause, to get this fat that's around the visceral fat, the one that's behind the muscle. That's the dangerous one. I feel like it's not tapping into it because of the cortisol. Reduce cortisol, that's going to go down. I'm telling you. So caffeine is something else that I now control. It was controlling me, because how can caffeine control you? It's part of the strength training mentality. Like, you don't think you can do it, yet you can do it. And so that's what I did. My caffeine intake is 2 cans, 3 some days, and that is it. And I'm working to even reduce it down even more. I really am. Because the amount that I was drinking was, I am sure, contributing to keeping that cortisol very high in my bloodstream. It's a whole thing. It's a whole package, right? And if it's not, if you're going, and it's just not, it's not quite, the fat is not coming off, especially here in the abdomen area, especially that visceral fat, that fat back in that behind the muscles, we got to get that out. We got to get that out. And so I had to look at everything, how much I was exercising in one time. Done. I'm going to get 10,000 steps is what I aim for now in my day. But normal, like a normal thing, through working out, through cleaning my home, through nice walks, that kind of thing. And caffeine, getting that, no, caffeine is fine. No problem with that, but not the way I'm drinking it, keeping my cortisol elevated. So there's that. So recap. Let's recap, and then I'm going to show you my NSVs. This video is long. I know. I tried to make it already 5 times, and it's just too long, but there's a lot that I wanted to say. All right. So before we get into the NSVs, which I'm going to leave you with that, let me give you a recap. 10,000 steps I would like to do in my day, but I'm not here. Where am I at? No. I check in once in a while, only if I'm sitting down too much, whether I'm editing, I'm doing eBay, or I'm doing something that requires me to sit down a lot. Then I want to see, wait a minute. And then because you want to spread it out. So that's what I want to do. Protein. I'm going to aim for a 120. I feel like you can do it, especially now that I know I'm learning what meats are higher in protein, what I can intake. I still only eat twice a day, and I like that. No snack. And I like that. I'm doing good. I don't need the night snacking anymore, guys, by the way. That I did that. Strength training, still doing it. At least try to do it 4 times in a week. I like that number, 4 times. That fits really, really good with me. Sundays I take off. Carbs, the macro carb, which we didn't talk too much about this time, 15 grams or less. Feel really, really good about that. And I want to throw this one out there, and this is just to throw out there, guys, but please understand that I don't weigh myself every single day. I'm not that person. I just don't. Once a week for me on Sundays is fine. But I will say this, okay? And when it comes to like a number on a scale, because sometimes people like that. They like to have goals there too. And I want to see that too. So I would like you guys by the 1st of the year, January 1st or December 31st or January 1st, I would love to see 179. I would. That would be nice. And I think it's doable. I got to listen to my body and incorporate all these things that I told you guys about. And I'm able to eat some veggies. Not every day do I do veggies. I don't. I really, really don't. I'm finding myself even more Ketovore, getting there. And that's good. I feel really, really good. All right. I think that is everything. I'll leave you with these NSVs now that we talked about the weight, because I don't want to. 189, I think, is solid, is what I weigh. It feels good to be solid 189. I could see changes in my butt, my inner thighs, my arms, a little bit more, a little bit around the neck area, a little bit on my face. I'm seeing changes, and I feel like I really am solidified the 189. But I'm going to leave you with some NSV. One is a pair of pants. It's just a picture. It's just a pair of camo pants. Those are large. And then my Michael Kors, crazy. And then a pair of pants that you recently saw in a haul. But my Michael Kors, those are my oldest. Those are size 12 jeans. And I was able to I could wear them. That's crazy. Even this top, I'll show you real quick. This top here, Lauren Conrad. Didn't fit at all. And I'm sitting here very comfortable. So we are on our way, guys. We're going to do this journey. We're going to do it. We're going to do this. We're going to get there. We're going to get to 145. Healthy, mainly healthy. 145 represents better health, but mainly healthy, getting rid of the visceral fat. That for me is goal for sure. But we're doing it. Okay, my friends, that's it. I will talk to you all very, very soon. I will be back. All right, take care. Bye. I'm going to show you these pants, which I shared with you guys before in a try-on haul. They're from Target. a new day, and these are a large, and I believe a large is more like they're 14, but you're gonna see I even still have the tag. I kept the tag on so I could show you. So let me get up so you could see. All right, so remember these, oh my gosh, look at these. They fit the way they're supposed to fit. And I'm so excited. Let me turn around. I wanted to come on here again and share with you that I got on my Michael Kors size 12 pair of jeans that I absolutely love. Now recently I did a sort of try on some pants. I'll put a link right here. And I had pulled these pants to share with you in that video. I knew they weren't gonna fit. I knew that, okay? But I just kind of wanted to see where I was at so that we could revisit, all right? But the reason why I never tried them on and I never showed them on video how they fit was because I couldn't even get them up above my thigh. Like I couldn't even, like I put my leg in and I'm thinking, what am I doing? Like, they didn't fit into the leg area, and then as I got up into the thigh, they just would not go up. I just never showed you